In the early 20th century, Antarctica was the ultimate frontier, a place of unimaginable cold, treacherous ice, and relentless winds. Among those who dreamed of conquering this last uncharted wilderness was Sir Ernest Shackleton, an Irish-born British explorer with an indomitable spirit. Shackleton's endurance expedition of 1914 to 1917 became one of the most legendary survival stories of all time. In August 1914, Shackleton and his crew of 27 men set sail from England aboard the Endurance, a sturdy wooden ship designed to navigate through the harsh Antarctic ice. Their goal was ambitious: to be the first to cross the Antarctic continent from the Weddell Sea to the Ross Sea. However, fate had different plans. By January 1915, as the Endurance approached the Antarctic coast, it became trapped in the dense pack ice of the Weddell Sea. Despite their efforts to free the ship, the ice held it fast. As winter set in, the ice floes began to crush the Endurance, and by October 1915, the ship was abandoned as it succumbed to the pressure and sank. The crew was now stranded on the floating ice with limited supplies. Shackleton and his men faced the brutal Antarctic winter with temperatures plummeting below -20 degrees Fahrenheit. They set up camp on the ice, killing seals and penguins for food and using the limited resources salvaged from the Endurance. Shackleton's leadership during this period was crucial. He kept morale high, maintained discipline, and made sure everyone had tasks to keep them focused and hopeful. In April 1916, as the ice began to break up, Shackleton decided it was time to make a move. They embarked on a perilous journey in 3 small lifeboats, aiming for Elephant Island, a remote and inhospitable piece of land. After 5 days of brutal rowing and navigating through icy waters, they reached Elephant Island. It was the first solid ground they had stood on in 497 days, but it offered little respite. Elephant Island was far from any shipping routes, and the chances of rescue were slim. Realizing that their only hope was to seek help, Shackleton and 5 of his strongest men set out on an 800-mile journey across the treacherous Southern Ocean in a 22-foot lifeboat, the James Caird. Their destination was South Georgia, a remote whaling station. This journey, undertaken in the heart of the Antarctic winter, is considered one of the greatest feats of navigation and seamanship. For 16 days, they battled towering waves, hurricane-force winds, and freezing temperatures. They navigated using a sextant, often catching only brief glimpses of the sun to take readings. On May 10, 1916, against all odds, they reached the southern coast of South Georgia. Exhausted and frostbitten, they still faced a daunting trek over uncharted mountains and glaciers to reach the whaling station on the northern coast. Shackleton and 2 of his men made the arduous 36-hour journey across South Georgia's mountainous terrain, finally reaching the whaling station and arranging for the rescue of the rest of the crew. It took several attempts and more than 3 months, but on August 30, 1916, Shackleton returned to Elephant Island aboard the Chilean ship Yelcho and rescued his men. Remarkably, not a single member of the Endurance expedition lost their life. The story of Shackleton and the Endurance is not just a tale of survival but also of leadership, resilience, and the human spirit's capacity to endure unimaginable hardship. Shackleton's ability to keep his men alive and hopeful in the face of certain death has made this story an enduring symbol of perseverance and courage. The expedition, while failing to achieve its initial goal, succeeded in becoming one of the most incredible survival stories in history.